The difference between an Airbnb and a B&B. Most people confuse Airbnb, a B&B, bed and breakfast, and a short-term rental together, mistaking them for one another. What is the difference? In this video, we will explain the difference. Welcome to Short Let's Business, for your business and renovation tips and advice. Remember to subscribe. B&B are mini hotels where guests can book a bed and breakfast at the same time. Airbnb is an online travel agent site that allows property professionals to list their short-term rentals on their website. Even though most properties listed on Airbnb do not provide breakfast, you will find some B&B listings that provide breakfast on there. Short-term rentals are self-catering accommodations that provide serviced accommodations for business people and companies. What is our definition of a short-term rental business, and is it different from a B&B? An accommodation business, which a lot of people wrongly call Airbnb, is a business advertised online initially through their own site, where you rent out your properties or spare rooms to guests on a short-term basis. It is a short-term rental business for property owners or managers. These property owners, if they like, use other OTA platforms such as Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, VRBO to advertise their properties. These short-term rentals have their own websites and social media accounts but still market their vacancies on OTA platforms. Most short-term rentals are generally mistakenly called Airbnb by people, not because they advertise on Airbnb, but because they are short-term rentals that use an Airbnb self-check-in and self-catering model. Is B&B different from Airbnb, and where does the confusion come from? Most of the time, the difference between an Airbnb and a traditional bed and breakfast (B&B) is not clear. Just because Airbnb has co-opted the B&B name, the terms Airbnb and B&B are being used interchangeably by guests and everyone. Please note that Airbnb is a company by itself that allows other short-term rentals to list their properties on their site. However, a short-term rental or serviced accommodation is what a lot of people call Airbnb. Below are the difference between short-let accommodations and a B&B. The difference between a short-let accommodation and a B&B. Regulation. Short-let accommodations are short-term rentals, serviced accommodations, or holiday rentals which only must abide by the regulations of the ICO, Information Commissioner's Office, because they collect people's information, have their local council planning permission, and use only Class C3 properties for their serviced accommodation business, and also let out the whole of the property and not room by room. Be registered with a property ombudsman, and have a number allocated to them. Be registered for business rate with their local council and not council tax. The company called Airbnb is a lightly regulated home-sharing business that lets almost anyone list accommodations for rent on their site. Short-term rentals are majorly called Airbnb because they are self-catering. A B&B, bed and breakfast, is a fully regulated small inn subject to state or local lodging laws. They are a small hotel with a few extra perks and personal touches. Breakfast provision. The second B in B&B, breakfast, is the biggest distinguishing feature between accommodations listed on Airbnb and a B&B. The difference between a short-term rental and a B&B starts with a complimentary full breakfast. Guests at B&B begin breakfast with a buffet of fruit, cereal, yogurt, pastries followed by a hot entree menu. All these are included in the price of their stay. A typical Airbnb-like or short-term rental has a kitchen, sometimes stocked with coffee and tea, but rarely if ever, will a host prepare a full breakfast. Property feature. Most B&Bs are unique properties with personalized service. A true B&B is typically independently owned, and the owner, who lives on the property or nearby, provides daily breakfast and housekeeping, and the experience is very personal. In many instances, the B&B is a historic property or has a unique quality about the building or property. However, short-term rentals also sometimes are special, but mostly an ordinary Class C3 house or apartment where guests are required to cook and clean for and by themselves. Guests check in and out by themselves and might also never see their host. Training and license. A real B&B is usually operated by someone with formal training in the hospitality business. And that person must have lots of expensive liability insurance. The B&B must be inspected by both fire marshal and health department as part of their licensing. Short-let businesses such as serviced accommodations and short-term rentals will have some insurance to cover a possible cancellation, but the hosts don't normally have any formal hospitality training. Fees. Bed and breakfast rooms are also available on Airbnb's platforms. Short-term rental fees appear much cheaper than B&B, but Airbnb's fees drive up the costs of any room of property listed on their site. A lot of B&B do not charge a cleaning fee, but when a B&B is listed on Airbnb, guests pay as much as £70 per night for the service fee. Airbnb, the online company itself, now charges 14% on a property or room listed with them, so for a £250 per night room, your guests will pay £35 in commission, which ends up adding a great deal more at a total of £285 per night. Overall, regarding fees, B&B costs more per night because of the added breakfast fee. In conclusion, there is a distinct difference between an Airbnb, a short-term rental, Airbnb-like, and a B&B. As detailed above, Airbnb is a website that allows property owners to list their properties for a commission. A short-term rental is a rental that provides short-term stays for leisure and business travelers, and which allow a self-check-in and out and are self-catering. They can choose to list their property on the Airbnb platform as some don't. A bed and breakfast (B&B) are small hotels that are regulated and provide breakfast in addition to the provision of a bed. Haven defined these. Most people will continue to mix Airbnb, short-term rentals, and B&B up. However, we hope that this video has thrown more light on the difference.